Now on 4 News Now at 6, Spokane hits pause on a homeless camping ban backed by a majority of voters. Why the city is holding off and what it could mean for your family's safety.
Get ready for more beautiful spring weather. I'm tracking even warmer temperatures on the way. I'll show you when we can expect the return of April showers in your first alert forecast.
Plus, crews are cleaning dangerous fire fuel at one popular Spokane park. We'll show you how a new levee could add even more protection and trails to more green spaces across the city. You're watching 4 News Now at 6. You could soon see more homeless people camping in your neighborhood following the City Council's decision not to reinstate Proposition 1, a voter-approved initiative that overwhelmingly passed in the 2023 election, yet was struck down by a state Supreme Court judge just last week. Proposition 1 bans camping within 1,000 feet of schools, daycare centers, and parks. Our Alexandra Cohen-Yards joins us live from downtown. Now, Alexandra, where do things stand with this initiative?
Derek, we heard from the police department just a little bit ago that they are no longer enforcing Proposition 1. They also told me they're working with the prosecutor's office to get rid of warrants for crimes that were caused under this initiative. Now, that department, as well as business leaders in our community, tell me that not enforcing this could have some serious impacts on your neighborhood, as well as here in our downtown core.
This picture shows the piles of trash Spokane police had to clean up from a small homeless encampment. Officers on the front lines of enforcing Prop 1 warn this now being overturned will not only impact the safety of your neighborhood, but also lead to an increase of garbage and drug paraphernalia. For business leaders, not seeing our city council move forward with enforcing this has been frustrating.
It's disappointing that the action isn't being taken quicker to get this on the books as an ordinance.
Brad Barnett is the president of the Spokane Business Association, a group that has spoken openly about its support of Proposition 1. Barnett warns our downtown core could soon lose more businesses now that this initiative is not being enforced.
If your business in downtown goes away, it's like an apple rotting from the inside out.
Councilmember Paul Dillon, one of the 4 who voted to not move forward with reinstating Prop 1, argued more time is needed to create a better version of the original initiative.
We really have to come up with something that has outreach, that is able to connect people to services, that does have accountability.
However, other city leaders feel this is the time to act.
If there are concerns from the council and they want to amend it, now that we have the ability to amend that ordinance, we can always amend it at a later date, but at least let's reinstate what the people asked for.
A sergeant with the police department told me that he hopes city council puts a law together that aligns with Proposition 1 because he says it has given them a tool to connect our most vulnerable communities with resources. For now, reporting live from downtown Spokane, I'm Alexandra Cohen-Yards, 4 News Now.
All right, Alexandra, thank you so much. In just the last few hours, Idaho doomsday cult mom Lori Vallow Daybell has been found guilty of conspiracy to commit murder. She was accused of helping plan the murder of her 4th husband, Charles Vallow. He was shot by Daybell's brother in 2019. Daybell represented herself in this trial and claimed self-defense. Daybell has already been convicted in Idaho for murdering her 2 children, Tylee and JJ. She was also convicted for her role in the death of her current husband's first wife. New details tonight on an attack inside of a Spokane Valley home yesterday. According to court documents, a woman was hurt while trying to protect her child from being stabbed by her mother. This attack happened near East Boone Avenue and North Lewis Road, a few blocks away from Centennial Middle School. Investigators say Terry Suter randomly attacked her daughter while she was in a room with her child. After being stabbed, the daughter got back up to protect her child and was stabbed again. After Suter left the room, the woman heard screaming and then saw Suter attacking her grandmother. Court documents say she used a baby gate to fight her off. Deputies eventually tased Suter when she refused to drop the knife. Both victims were taken to the hospital. The grandmother remains in critical condition. Suter now faces first-degree assault charges. Well, the Spokane County Sheriff's Office is still searching for the person who shot and killed a man in Spokane's West Plains area. It happened near South Hayford Road and West Geiger Boulevard, just north of I-90, near the Amazon Fulfillment Center. The Sheriff's Office believes the shooting happened following an argument between a group of people who knew each other. One person was detained but released after being questioned by detectives. As of now, the county medical examiner has not released the name of the victim. All right, we're going to send it over now to Chris Crocker, tracking a warm-up in your First Alert forecast.
Yes, but first, before the warm-up, another chilly night. Taking a look at our live view over the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena right now, we've got a few fair weather cumulus clouds that are beginning to thin and dissipate. We'll have clear skies this evening, and that's going to allow our temperature to drop very quickly. 56 degrees at 7 o'clock. Still a beautiful evening to get out and about with our sunset well after 7:30. At 9 o'clock, we'll be in the 40s, 44 degrees by 11 o'clock. Meanwhile, temperatures will continue to drop below freezing in Deer Park and Spirit Lake. Expect frosty conditions in 9 Mile and Meade, as well as down in Spangle. We'll be in the mid-30s through the I-90 corridor, and around the region, we'll be down at freezing in Pullman and St. Mary's. 30 degrees tomorrow morning in Colville and 33 in Sandpoint. 4 things to know about your weather. It will be a frosty morning, but then a sunny, warm day with a warming trend taking us into the 70s later this week. Possible weekend showers. I'll tell you more about that and have your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes. Derek?
All right, Chris, thanks so much. Within the last hour, we've learned 2 of Gonzaga's star basketball players will be returning next season. Let's send it over to Sports Director Jack Wallace to see who's running it back with the Zags.
And we have not just one big guy, we got 2 of them. Both Graham Ike and Braden Huff will return to the Gonzaga Bulldogs next season in a tremendous update for the Zags. Both these players redshirted for Gonzaga 2 seasons ago, and last year, Ike started all 35 games, leading the team in rebounding, posting career-high shooting marks over 60% from the field and just shy of 80% from the free throw line. Now, Huff, he was almost always coming off the bench, but found an incredible groove in the final stretch of the season, getting a couple starts, including an 18-point barrage to help beat rival St. Mary's and win the WCC tournament. Both these players are expected to start next season, greatly helping Gonzaga, who ended up adding 0 new faces this portal cycle. So that's all for the portal, and now we can shift focus to the NFL draft. Starting on ABC in just a couple of days, we'll have breakdowns from the pro hopeful later on in sports. Derek, back to you.
All right, Jack, talk to you in a bit. Well, meet Mickey Tudor and Kevin Pyatt. They wear SPD badges on their shirts, but they're not Spokane police officers. They serve as police chaplains, providing critical support during some of life's most devastating moments.
And we co-respond with our officers to every unattended death. So that could be overdose, that could be, the natural death, that could be suicide.
To see how they guide local families and even their fellow officers through their darkest moments, find Robin Nance's special report on KXLY.com. On your screen right now is video of the Pope Francis's body lying in state at his home in the Vatican. Tomorrow, the Pope's coffin will be transferred to St. Peter's Basilica, where the public will be able to visit him and pay their final respects. His funeral will be held on Saturday morning in St. Peter's Square. Local churches are also paying tribute to Pope Francis, including Gonzaga holding a resurrection mass today. The university's chaplain hopes students get the opportunity to grieve the loss of the Pope and reflect on his legacy. Derek Strom spoke to faith leaders about how they want Pope Francis to be remembered.
In some ways, this is an appropriate time to celebrate, Pope Francis and to pray for his soul.
Churches around Spokane are remembering Pope Francis this week, the first Jesuit pope in history. That's especially meaningful to a Jesuit institution like Gonzaga, which held a resurrection mass in Pope Francis's memory today.
He was a very good person, and he touched a lot of people's lives. As a Jesuit, we're very proud that he could serve as the leader of the church.
But Pope Francis's legacy extends far beyond being from the Jesuit order. Father Bob Lyons hopes students at Gonzaga will take time to think about how the Pope exemplified self-reflection and honesty.
We just always walk towards something that's positive. And I think he did more than just preach that. He lived it. And he did make a difference in people's lives. And it touched a lot of people.
And just behind me here in the grotto on Gonzaga's campus, they've set up a vigil where people can leave candles and pray and help process the loss of the Pope.
He admitted, that he had parts in his life that weren't perfect. And he reflected on that, and he took steps to change it. And I think he invites all of us to do that.
The Cathedral of Our Lady of Lourdes in downtown Spokane plans to hold a mass in memory of Pope Francis on Thursday. It currently has black bunting over its entrance to symbolize the death of the Pope.
We're going to gather to pray for him and to remember his life and ask for God's Holy Spirit to guide us at this difficult time in the life of the church.
Thursday's Mass will be open to everyone, and Vicar General Darren Connell says being welcoming to people who aren't Catholic is one of Pope Francis's greatest teachings. In Spokane, Derek Strom, 4 News Now.
And tonight, we're taking a look back at the life of Pope Francis. Don't miss ABC's special report, Francis, the People's Pope, starting at 10 o'clock, right here on 4 News Now. Still ahead, student loan collections will soon return, and if you're in default, your paycheck could take the hit. We have everything you need to know coming up. And a young athlete gone too soon, but today, his teammates and even his opponents ran in his honor.
This is what we're doing to show them that we care.
The emotional tribute and his father's message to the world next on 4 News Now.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV.
4 News Now is brought to you by Andy's Heating, Cooling, Electrical.
There's a good feeling we get when we show up for others, whether it's a family member, a neighbor, or a local nonprofit we care about. When you donate or volunteer to support nonprofits, great things happen. That's what Give Big is all about. Give Big is Washington's annual giving campaign that benefits nonprofits of all kinds across our state. On May 6th and 7th, visit wagives.org to discover and donate to nonprofits making good things happen.
What does it mean to be here for good? It means being here for the artists who dream, the shop owner who knows your order by heart, and the mentors who leave a lasting impact. Here for singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game and big comeback stories. Here for the long haul from Omak to Sandpoint to Baker City. Here for your family, your neighbors, for you. STCU. Here for good.
Are you moving? Make it easy with Dan the Moving Man. Reliable, efficient, and stress-free. Dan is your locally owned, trusted household and piano moving partner. Visit danthemovingmanwa.com for your free quotes today.
So you've been thinking about upgrading your air conditioner for a while now. But with tariffs right around the corner, that waiting could cost you big time. Fortunately, Bill's Heating and AC planned ahead and stocked our warehouse full of pre-tariff air conditioners. Same comfort, same quality, without the coming price hike. But this equipment won't last long, so don't wait until prices go up. Take advantage of pre-tariff pricing and our lowest price guarantee. Call Bill's Heating and AC today and lock in comfort before comfort costs more.
All across Washington, people are coming together
to restore our rivers and streams.
We're planting trees and shrubs to cool and purify the water,
making it healthier for salmon.
Each project improves water quality and creates new habitat for fish and wildlife.
The ripples of these projects will be felt for generations.
Be a part of the ripple effect by volunteering with your local conservation district.
Tomorrow morning, GMA is right there, live from the Vatican, as the world celebrates the extraordinary life and impact of Francis, the People's Pope. Now, what comes next? Who could succeed him? Good Morning America tomorrow.
That gunshot marks the start of a very special race this afternoon in Spokane Valley, honoring a Whelpinette runner who tragically took his own life on Saturday. Trey Flett was an avid runner, his father telling us it was his passion. Before a track meet today between schools and Whelpinette's conference, athletes set aside rivalries and instead ran as one to honor Flett. Hunter Bertram joins us live at the track at Valley Christian School. And Hunter, how are the emotions out there today?
Yeah, well, Derek, there's been many tears shed on this track today, as only days ago, a community member in this running community lost their lives. And today, they're finding ways to honor him through running. It's not often you see something like this on a high school track. Athletes, coaches, and fans from rival schools standing together. On your mark. Honoring a life of a team that loved to run by running.
We want to make sure that they know that we're thinking about them. And
Whelpinette lost a teammate on Saturday. Raymond Flett Jr. lost his son.
And it was a shocker, man.
You know, last thing we expected. Always had a smile on his face.
It's hard for Trey's father to speak about his son, but he was able to smile when talking about his son's love for running.
He liked to move, you know.
So it's fitting today at Valley Christian School, a race was ran for Trey.
To see everybody, you know, come together and show support for my son means a lot.
In this particular instance, this is what we're doing to show them that we care and, you know, we love them as competitors.
Competitors that set aside competing for something so important. I asked Trey Flett's father if he would like to share a message with these athletes and you at home. He shared a message everyone needs to hear.
Kids, if you guys feel bad, ask for help.
Yeah, and Derek, you know, hundreds took part in that race earlier today, either running or walking. Truly emotional and inspiring. Live in Spokane Valley, Hunter Bertram, 4 News Now.
All right, Hunter, thank you for that. Well, these bright yellow school buses helped give one Spokane County boy an unforgettable experience yesterday. Meet 16-year-old Benji. He lives with medical and developmental challenges. His mom saying his doctor didn't even know if he'd make it past March. We first introduced you to Benji over 10 years ago. In 2020, Mark Peterson and the Extreme team got him his own bus for the backyard. For Benji, school buses aren't just vehicles, they're pure joy. And when he's around them, he lights up.
He doesn't always talk about what other people talk about, but he can talk about buses, and if you talk about buses with him, he is all about that.
You know, you can watch the moment these buses lit up Benji's world right now on KXLY.com.
Oh, I love it. Well, Wednesday, expect lots of sunshine, a cold start down in the 30s, but we'll be heading to a high of 64 degrees. 59 is our average high. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast and the possibility of showers after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Indulge in wonderful dining at Mississauga Casino Hotel.
In basketball, to have a good offense, you need to know how to read the defense.
The same is true dealing with the insurance company after a car wreck.
They'll use every trick in their playbook to pay you as little as possible.
But we know their playbook.
And play number 1 is the blame game.
They'll point the finger at you and blame you for the wreck.
So if you've been in a wreck,
call Russell and Hill to protect your case.
Russell and Hill will fight for you. Call 800-LAW-0842.
Did you know Corsair is an old-timey word for pirate? Me neither. But more importantly, it's a new-timey word for a luxury car that'll shiver your timbers at Northern Quest. It's the $110,000 Corsair Conquest giveaway. Play daily with your Camus Rewards card and you could set sail in a brand new Lincoln Corsair. Grand prize drawing May 31st. Pre-party from 2 to 6 p.m. in case you're feeling, you know, pillagey.
When I was told I needed radiation treatment for a brain tumor, I couldn't stop thinking about what could happen to my memories. Those moments I cherish from growing up, of finding myself, of the people I love, of what I've created. But they all just fade away. But when I learned how precise treatment was with Gamma Knife, I was reassured that those moments would be preserved. Because it's not only about protecting the memories I've made, but the ones I have yet to create.
So you've been thinking about upgrading your air conditioner for a while now. But with tariffs right around the corner, that waiting could cost you big time. Fortunately, Bill's Heating and AC planned ahead and stocked our warehouse full of pre-tariff air conditioners. Same comfort, same quality, without the coming price hike. But this equipment won't last long, so don't wait until prices go up. Take advantage of pre-tariff pricing and our lowest price guarantee. Call Bill's Heating and AC today and lock in comfort before comfort costs more.
This year, turn your backyard into a fun, relaxing paradise. From Quality Spas of Spokane, the little store that sells the most hot tubs and swim spas. Made right here in the United States by Cal Spas.
Give up for meteorologist Matt Craig.
Well, our very own own meteorologist Matt Gray throwing a heater to start the Spokane Indians game today. Might have been just, you know, a little up in the strike zone there. And Chris, I hear he was also collecting some new and gently used coats for our annual Coats for Kids campaign.
Yes, they were out there. It was our spring cleanup today as well as last week. Collected hundreds of coats.
Yeah, awesome.
We're going to save them and then start our big campaign, of course, in the fall. But nobody's really thinking about coats right now. You need a hoodie out at the bus stop tomorrow or something. It's, you know, it's shorts weather for kids 9 months out of the year around here. But live conditions currently, it is 56 in Spokane, 56 in Coeur d'Alene. Partly cloudy skies here in Spokane. Gosh, that's a pretty sky right now. It is clear in Coeur d'Alene presently. Let's track our weather pattern. We've got a couple things going on, a ridge of high pressure, and then the opposite, a trough moving in. Starting off at our current time, we've had a little bit of a northerly flow today, so despite the bright blue skies and all that sunshine, our temperatures only topped out right around average in the upper 50s, but high pressure will be building in for the next couple of days, and as it does, we are going to be looking at warmer conditions on Wednesday, even warmer Thursday, and it looks like that warming trend is going to continue through Friday once we get a southwesterly flow going. But also as we get into Friday, here's Friday at 8 o'clock, this upper level trough starts swinging in south of us, and that's going to send us a little bit of wet weather and bring in some cooler air as we get into the weekend. Here's Saturday at 1 o'clock with the possibility of some showers. Now, we are on the far northern edge of most of this energy, so don't expect much in terms of precipitation, a few sprinkles here and there, but we are also going to be cooling down. Here is a look at our high temperature trend over the next 7 days, all the way up to 71 on Friday. We have not been in the 70s at all this month. We hit 69, but not 70. But in March, we did it twice. So we're overdue to be back in the 70s. And then we cool down for the weekend as that upper level trough impacts our weather before we start warming back up again. The white line is our average high in our extended 8 to 14 day outlook. Here's April 30th through May 6th. Looking at more above average temperatures. The precipitation, a little bit more of a mystery. No indication that we will be drier or wetter than average heading into that first week of May. Planning forecast, blue skies, sunshine, and a warming trend through Friday. Clouds arrive late Friday with the possibility of some showers Friday night into Saturday. Only a 20% chance of measurable rain. That is also the case for Sunday. And then we dry out heading into Monday of next week. Overnight lows in the 30s and then 40s through the rest of the 7-day forecast, Eric.
All right, Chris, thanks so much. We want to remind you that ABC is your home of the NFL draft this year, and this year you may recognize the name likely to be picked first by the Tennessee Titans. Former Washington State quarterback Cam Ward is coming off an amazing season at the University of Miami, throwing for over 4,000 yards, 39 touchdowns, and only 7 interceptions. Ward says a big part of his success is because of his parents.
I've attended 3 different colleges throughout my college journey. Father's name is Calvin Ward. Patrice Ward is my mother. Been there all my life. They've been to every one of my youth games since I got to middle school, high school. They missed 0 games of my college career. In Miami, it'll only be a 2-hour trip from Texas to Miami. They're playing, being at every NFL game, no matter we playing in the United States or we playing overseas. They enjoy watching me play. It means a lot to me to have them be a part of every game, be a part of my life every day. So I've been blessed. They've sacrificed financially for me, time, just putting me in positions to showcase my skills. So, you know, I'm always going to support them how they support me.
It's pretty amazing, really, Jack, to see Cam, who spent 2 years at WSU, being considered the likely #1 pick.
And what a fit he'd be in Tennessee, who, if any of you watched the NFL the last few years, They could use a new franchise quarterback.
Yes, they could.
Which, I mean, that would be one heck of a ball player to join them, too. Very exciting. We have a lot of draft hopefuls coming up. A lot of great stories ahead of this big-time weekend. We have a local connection at Eastern Washington who wants to continue the elite Eagle wide receiver legacy in the league. Tune in later in sports to hear his journey through the draft process.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
WSECU Cashback Checking. You give and give and give. Let's give you something back. Just use your debit card to earn. WSECU Cashback Checking. Let's credit union.
Andy's Heating, Cooling, Electrical guarantees to keep your home safe and cool. Your comfort is Andy's priority. Stay cool this summer with a new air conditioning system from Carrier and turn to the experts. Andy's offers a wide range of top quality air conditioning systems that are both reliable and environmentally friendly. Andy's team of experts are highly trained and experienced, so you can stay comfortable with Andy's hassle-free installation service. Andy's Heating, Cooling, Electrical, your trusted Carrier experts since 1972.
At Liberty Park, we've been growing our own since 1928, and we continue to be your go-to greenhouse for all your gardening needs, including custom container planting. We have a colorful selection of annuals, perennials, and hanging baskets. With several varieties of tomatoes and other veggie starts, we have all you need to kick off your vegetable garden. We also carry yard art, soil, and pots of all sizes and colors. Liberty Park Greenhouse and Garden Center is now open in the historic South Perry District.
Champions of Magic is back with an explosive all-new show featuring thrilling and mind-bending illusions sure to entertain the entire family. The world's only team of illusionists present an interactive, high-energy production unlike anything you've seen before. Get your tickets to North America's biggest touring illusion show, Champions of Magic.
In Spokane, May 17th. Tickets on sale now at BroadwaySpokane.com.
I'm Drew Henry, tea maker and founder of Revival Tea Company, and we're right here at Yolks Fresh Market. We started in 2018 in Spokane. We are super proud of getting our peppermint from Washington State, our honey from bees in Spokane. We've collaborated with Dry Fly and turned into canned cocktails. We definitely would not be where we're at today without the support from some amazing local partners like Yolks. Oh yeah, the more and more we can work together, that's been a really fun thing as we continue to grow.
Check out Revival Tea at Yolks Fresh Market.
4 News Now is brought to you by Renewal by Andersen.
In news for your health tonight, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy is calling on food manufacturers to phase out certain artificial dyes. The dyes he wants removed give things like cereal, ice cream, and yogurts their bright color. While some studies suggest the dyes could be harmful, other experts question the need for a ban. It's not yet clear how Kennedy will enforce the ban or implement the new changes. Approved artificial additives are considered safe by the FDA, but the health effects are not fully understood. Some experts say human studies have linked dyes to issues in kids.
Human studies linking some of these dyes to hyperactivity, neurologic, and behavioral issues in kids, and then some studies showing issues with inflammatory bowel disease and allergies.
Now, other countries have banned some of the additives or required food packaging to include warning labels about the health risks. Both West Virginia and California have passed laws to ban a handful of food dyes from school lunches. Environmental Working Group, an advocacy organization, says 26 other states are considering doing the same. The Department of Education announced it will restart collecting federal student loans in default on May 5th. It will end a roughly 5-year-long pandemic-era pause and could impact more than 5 million borrowers.
Debt cannot be wiped away. It just ends up getting transferred to others. So why should Americans who didn't go to college or went to college and responsibly paid back their loans pay for the student loans of other Americans?
Student loans go into default after 270 days without payment. The department is urging borrowers in default to start making a monthly payment, enroll in an income-driven repayment plan, or sign up for loan rehabilitation. If not, the federal agency could order non-federal employers to withhold a percentage of an employee's income to pay that delinquent debt. Well, lawmakers in Olympia are rushing to pass a custom license plate bill before the session ends on Sunday. We'll explain why and how it's meant to help with wildfire prevention. Plus, crews are cleaning up fire fuels from one popular Spokane park, how a levy could add even more protections to parks all over the city. Next on 4 News Now.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
I think this is my favorite. Okay, hon, what do you think of this one?
From design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your tub or shower remodel.
Are you moving? Make it easy with Dan the Moving Man. Reliable, efficient, and stress-free. Dan is your locally owned, trusted household and piano moving partner. Visit danthemovingmanwa.com for your free quotes today.
Watch Judy Justice weekdays at 3 on KXLY ABC4.
Judy Justice is now in session right here.
Judy Justice is brought to you by Russell & Hill. Injured in a car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Call 1-800-LAW-0842.
Spokane Riverkeeper and the Salish School of Spokane are connecting kids with the Spokane River. Through hands-on river science, kids are learning to protect the water.
We protect and restore the Spokane River for future generations. These students carry the language and history of the land, and their voice reminds us why this work matters.
We must protect and teach. Numerica is honored to donate $2,500 to Spokane Riverkeeper and Salish School of Spokane. This is how Numerica cares for kids.
Which is better, the Honda Ridgeline or the Toyota Tacoma? Well, the Honda Ridgeline is built right here in America. Tacoma is not. In fact, the Honda Ridgeline is in the top 10 on Cars.com's American Made Index. Tacoma didn't even make the list. Plus, Ridgeline comes standard with more horsepower and all-wheel drive. And right now, well-qualified buyers can get the Honda Ridgeline with 1.99% APR financing. For details, see your Inland Northwest Honda dealer today.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. A nice relaxing stay? We got you. Wanna be entertained? We got you. Wanna play golf all day? We got you. Go to Lake Casino. The winning is just the beginning. So you're looking for something to do? We got you. Want some tasty food? We got you. Heard you wanna do some shopping? We got you. The live music is always popping at the Go to Lake Casino. At the Go to Lake Casino. Go to Lake Casino. The winning is just the beginning.
So what do you think about these?
We're going to take everything.
From design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your tub or shower remodel.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Well, fire season is quickly approaching, and crews are already doing fire mitigation work at Edwidge Woldson Park on the Lower South Hill. This is in partnership with Spokane Parks and Spokane Fire Department. It's the first phase of a larger proposed plan to improve this area if the Together Spokane Parks levy passes in November. Marissa Rio shows us the city's plan to make parks safer and more easily accessible to enjoy.
It's a great day to play with your dog at Edwidge Woldson Park. The sun is shining and there's a large open grass front for a good game of fetch. And now, thanks to Spokane Fire's fuels reduction work, there's more open space for everyone to enjoy. Plus, it's a lot more safe.
If there was a fire here, it would be a fast-moving grass fire at worst, and we have the ability to catch it. Prior to that, this thing would be, basically a crown fire. It would have 100-foot flame heights, and it's stuff that's uncontrollable.
Spokane Park says the open space also takes away hiding spots, which can hopefully reduce negative activity in the park. Right now, Spokane Fire says this work is covered by a grant, which is good for 5 years.
We need some long-term funding in the city and in the parks to be able to maintain what we're doing now. And again, it's still a fraction of the cost, but we need that levy to be able to maintain that cost.
Spokane Park says this levy would help expand these safety efforts around our community. It would also be used to make this area in particular more accessible. Now I'm here on Cliff Drive, and this is arguably one of the best views that you can get of the city. But if you've ever been here, you know there's not much space to walk or bike. Well, if this levy passes, Spokane Parks wants to create a trail that would start here on Cliff Drive and go all the way down into Howard. This is how officials plan it would look. It would also come with
dedicated parking
lighting, soft trails as well, trailhead improvements along that corridor.
If the levy passes, Parks also wants to create a trail like this through Edwidge-Wilton Park. That way, the whole family has a pathway, and you and your pup can still play fetch in the open grass. In Spokane, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
And now is the perfect time to prepare for wildfire season. One thing experts recommend you have ready is an emergency go bag. Experts say it should have 3 gallons of water and a 3-day supply of non-perishable food. It should also have a first aid kit, a change of clothes, and copies of important documents like birth certificates or your passport. For more tips to make sure you and your family are prepared for fire season, head to KXLY.com/firewatch. All right, let's send it over to Chris Crocker now with a look at that first alert forecast.
All that blue sky and all that sunshine today, and temperatures only topped out in the upper 50s, which is right about average. 58 in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. It was 55 in Sandpoint and Bonners Ferry today. Made it to 60 in Ritzville and 64 degrees in Moses Lake. Our highs tomorrow are going to take a bit of a jump, about 5 degrees, 64 in Spokane and 63 tomorrow in Coeur d'Alene, St. Mary's, in the 50s in Sandpoint, but 60s elsewhere around the inland northwest, right around the Spokane area. Mid-60s will be common through the I-90 corridor, 64 in Deer Park and 66 in 9 Mile and Meade, 60 in Spirit Lake, the cool spot on the map. Hour by hour, your forecast, it is going to be a beautiful day. Cloudless sky, a cold start at 36 degrees, light winds, clear conditions. By noon, we're going to be in the upper 50s, 62 as kids are heading out from school. Our high temperature is 64 degrees. I'll be back to talk more about the cold weather we had this morning and when you should plant those tender plants around the region. I'll explain why it's good to wait later in the news. Derek.
All right, Chris, thanks so much. Well, the man accused of killing 19-year-old Maria Kapustin is back in Spokane. Investigators say Cougar Devereaux shot at a group of people last July, hitting and killing Kapustin. According to documents, the shooting may have been in retaliation for a gang shooting that took place 1 month prior. Devereaux was on the run for months and was found last month in Colorado. He's now facing second-degree murder and drive-by shooting charges. Eagles, falcons, and hawks are just some of the birds a nonprofit in Idaho is rescuing. Birds of Prey Northwest rescues and rehabilitates these birds from all over the inland Northwest. Many of the injuries these birds suffer from are caused by humans.
Well, the 2 primary causes of leading death of eagles in our country could be totally prevented.
Now find out what's putting these birds in danger and what this organization is doing to prevent it tomorrow on Good Morning Northwest, starting at 5 a.m. Well, no matter where you drive, you'll probably see a few designer license plates. While they help show off your personality on the road, proceeds from these plates support groups like local sports teams, colleges, and organizations. But the state legislature is now taking a closer look at them. Albert James explains why.
I see these plates and not only enjoy how they add to the boring task of driving on the road, but I'm also happy to know that the purchase of the plate went to a good cause.
Senate Bill 5444 would make up to 13 new special design license plates, including ones for Mount St. Helens, Pickleball, and Smokey the Bear.
This is important not only because it raises funds for wildfire prevention programs, but it really does raise awareness for preventing wildfires.
But the bill also establishes a moratorium on any new special designs and creates a work group to study rules around proposing plates. The state offers over 60 special design plates, with DOO data showing the most popular are the WSU, National Parks, and Seahawks plates. On the other hand, plates around tennis, the Seattle Storm, and Future Farmers of America are the least popular. Democratic Prime sponsor Adrian Cortez says a review is necessary as some plates make it into production without vetting on how popular they'd be.
This work group will establish different parameters in terms of how many signatures you need to gather to put a specialty license plate, what the amount of money that these groups can raise on these specialty license plates.
But why are lawmakers talking about this now, at a time where they're racing against the clock to pass a balanced budget with funding cuts and increased taxes? Cortez says some of the specialty plates plates will generate revenue for drivers' education and electric vehicle charging, and the bill was negotiated by the late Senator Bill Ramos, who died unexpectedly this past weekend.
I don't think it's so much it's taking priority over more important things. It just so happens by random chance that it got revived at the last minute. Again, Senator Ramos, I attribute to helping to revive this bill.
Even though there's only 5 days left in the regular session and a lot of other issues for legislators to resolve, Cortez says there's a very high likelihood the bill will make it through as lawmakers want to see Ramos's work be successful.
I'd like to hope that it happens this year. This has Senator Ramos's fingerprints all over it. And I'd like to be able to, pull this across the finish line kind of as a tribute to him.
The committee vote is not yet scheduled for the bill, a necessary step to move forward with just days before session ends. In Olympia, I'm Albert James reporting.
Well, Efton Chisholm is one of, if not the best FCS wide receiver in this year's NFL draft.
And he talked to us about what huge moments like fighting for a draft spot are like. And after the break, hear from the Eastern standout on what these moments meant to him.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by George Geek Kia, Spokane.
The smart thermostat just got smarter, and Bill's Heating and AC wants you to experience the difference. For a limited time, new customers will receive the brand new Nuve Smart Thermostat free with every full system tune-up. And right now, the tune-up is just $59. Enjoy 24/7 monitoring, total control of your home's comfort, and help prevent costly breakdowns, all with one phone call. Call 208-777-5528 to claim this limited time offer today.
Just look at those beautiful plants and flowers from the Plant Farm. The Plant Farm is Spokane's go-to garden center. A promise of trust and confidence comes with the healthiest plants from the Plant Farm because their plants and flowers are grown right here. Get annuals, perennials, roses, trees, shrubs, and their signature hanging baskets and more, even indoor plants. Head to the Plant Farm, Spokane's go-to garden center on 4th between Evergreen and Adams in the Spokane Valley because life is better in the garden.
It takes 5 seconds to read an average text message. If you're driving a car going 30 miles an hour, that's enough time to travel 220 feet. That's a long distance. About 3/4 of a football field. Or enough room for 15 cars. Oh, so if all that can fit inside of 220 feet, then imagine how much the road could change while you read one text. So before you start driving, put your phone out of reach and stay focused on the road. Together, we get there.
If you have a vehicle you no longer need, you can give it new purpose through Union Gospel Mission. Simply go to ugmmotors.org or call 509-327-HELP to schedule a pickup. Your donation gives people like Tyler food, shelter, job training, and the opportunity for a whole new life. Be a driver of change. Donate your vehicle to Union Gospel Mission.
When I was told I needed radiation treatment for a brain tumor, I couldn't stop thinking about what could happen to my memories. Those moments I cherish from growing up, of finding myself, of the people I love, of what I've created. But they all just fade away. But when I learned how precise treatment was with Gamma Knife, I was reassured that those moments would be preserved. Because it's not only about protecting the memories I've made, but the ones I have yet to create.
All right, the legendary career at Eastern Washington University is over for Efton Chisholm, but the star wide receiver now has his sights set on the NFL draft.
Now, statistically speaking, Chisholm is the best FCS wide receiver prospect in the 2025 NFL draft. Beginning this week, his record-breaking numbers at Eastern pretty much speak for themselves as he tore through competition. 120 catches, over 1,300 yards, plenty of touchdowns. Chisholm was unstoppable and one of the best Big Sky offenses this season. He had the most catches, 5th most touchdowns, and 6th most receiving yards of any wide receiver across all of Division I college football. This dominance opened many eyes to the NFL draft process, dazzling in the East-West Shrine Bowl, and his projected day 3 pick, so likely in the 4th through 7th round. And we caught up with Efton today on how the process has been for him and what he's most excited about coming up this weekend.
every day I kind of wake up and I'm always thinking about opportunities and way to get better. And, with that being a game or a practice or weights or with whatever it is, taking those moments to the best of my ability to go out there and try to dominate them and try to come out as on top and with the most, put everything I got into it to be represented well in those moments.
And that moment is currently projected, as I mentioned, kind of that 6th or 7th round this weekend, a little bit later. So not ideal for him to be a top prospect, but man, he has shown a lot of high quality stuff. And all that NFL draft action happening on ABC right here on 4 News Now.
I had Dan Dickau, the Gonzaga basketball player, told me once, when it comes to drafts, all you need is one team to like you, right? So
that's all you need.
We'll hope it happens for him.
Now we go ahead and look at the Spokane Indians up against the Eugene Emeralds. Education and Business Person Day game at Avista Stadium. Kiddos packed in and Indians lead 3-2 after a big home run, but go to the second runner in scoring position. Jared Thomas pushing past the ground of the gap. EJ Andrews, look at him, book it home, sliding just in for the run. Indians take their insurance, and Andy Perez slugging next to dead center, bouncing off the wall. An income pair of runners. Look how close they are together. 5 runs, 6 runs, count it up for Spokane. They ride that momentum, a season high 17 runs and the 12-run win. Now, the Seattle Mariners, they have been on a tear as of late with 4 straight series wins. They're back on the road today to face the Boston Red Sox. And this game just got blown wide open. It was a 4-3 game not too long ago. Now an 8-3 game in the top of the 8 with the Red Sox in front. Polanco, solo homer to take the lead in the first. Boston clawing back a lead after 4 runs scored from the 1st to the 5th inning. And Seattle got a little bit closer in the 6th. Now, of course, not looking as ideal. We'll have full highlights, seeing if the Mariners can come back coming up on Nightside. Spokane Chiefs are 1 win away from advancing to the Western Conference Finals. They came back and took down the Victoria Royals in a wild Game 5, and they're up 3-2 in the series heading into Game 6 tonight at home. Puck drop over at Spokane Arena set for 7:05 p.m. tonight. So right after our show, and love that for the Chiefs. They've been so impressive in this last stretch. They were down 2-1, rattling back-to-back wins. I just can't even wait for the crowd tonight.
It's going to be raucous in there the arena. All right, Chris, over to you.
4 things to know about your weather if you are headed to the Chiefs game. It is going to be a chilly evening and a frosty morning across the inland Northwest. Beautiful sunshine for Wednesday with a warming trend, possible weekend showers. Your 7-day forecast after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app. Regain your quality of life with expert spine care at Prosser Memorial Health. Neurological spine surgeon Dr. David Yam, with over 20 years of experience, specializes in comprehensive spine care, minimally invasive surgery, and disc replacement. Dr. Yam is now seeing patients at our new Spine Center locations in Prosser and Walla Walla. Call 509-786-5599 today to schedule your appointment. New, returning, and second opinion patients welcome. The new Spine Center at Prosser Memorial Health. This is how we care.
For over 40 years, Parker Toyota has been dedicated to serving the people of North Idaho with top quality used vehicles that exceed industry standards.
That's because every used car undergoes a rigorous 160-point inspection. If it doesn't meet our standards, it doesn't belong on our lot.
Providing the highest quality used cars and trucks is just the beginning of our commitment to you as a customer.
Come see our huge selection of vehicles and receive our no-problem customer service at Parker Toyota in beautiful Coeur d'Alene.
With a P1FCU Ascend checking account, you get more than great dividends. Imagine having an entire branch in your pocket. Who needs a checkbook when you have a digital wallet? The only thing I check these days are my dividends.
Earn 3.5% APY. Access your account anytime, anywhere. Simplify your life and start earning more with Ascend checking. Get yours today at p1fcu.org/ascend.
R&R RV has just lowered prices on every pre-owned motorhome, fifth wheel, and travel trailer in stock. We're talking jaw-dropping savings on the region's largest selection of pre-owned RVs. All pre-owned units at R&R RV are clean, certified, and never purchased at auction. Quit dreaming. Just do it. Same-day delivery available on many units. Shop pre-owned units now at R&R RV in Liberty Lake, North Spokane, and Lewiston. Or visit rnrrv.com.
My name is Paul Daglin. I've been with Granite Concepts for coming on 19 years now. From the beginning, it's all about customer satisfaction and quality because we want you to be happy. Technology has changed the game of what we can do. If you can do it with wood, you basically can have it done in stone. At Granite Concepts, we want you to feel at home.
4 News Now is brought to you by Northern Quest Resort and Casino.
We're calling all pickleball players. There are only a few days left to register for the Spokane Pickleball Club's Spring Flex League. From May 1st to July 6th, teams will go head-to-head on their own time in leagues organized by the club. And yes, there will be prizes. Registration closes on April 27th. You can head to Spokane Pickleball Club's website for more details. All right, and now Chris is back with a final check of our weather.
Yes, a beautiful evening happening right now. Take a look at this downtown view over the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena. Skies are clearing, and it is going to be another cold night. We talked a lot about frost and cover your plants last night. If you happen to have them in the ground. And this is where we started the day today. In Spokane, we stayed at 36. However, Coeur d'Alene got down to 28 this morning, 26 in Sandpoint, 27 in Bonners Ferry. It was 21 in Colville, 32 in Ritzville, 33 in Lewiston, where the growing season is underway, and 28 in Pullman. That temperature updated. That was a high in St. Mary's, not the low. I want to show you our low temperature trend over the next 7 days. We are 34 tonight, but then we are going to be looking at temperatures in the 40s through the rest of the 7-day forecast, starting Thursday night into Friday morning. This white line is our average overnight low, which is in the upper 30s to right around 40 degrees by the time we're into this time next week. The date of our last freeze is been getting earlier and earlier in the inland Northwest. May 4th is still the number that we use, the date that we use in Spokane for the average date of the last freeze. And if we go back to 1950 through 1960, that is the average date. However, if you look at more recent history, let's go 2013 through 2023, it's April 18th. And you may notice that it used to always be Mother's Day, and now it's getting closer to Bloomsday weekend, and maybe you could even get away with doing that earlier. Now, that's the average day of the last freeze. The last frost is perhaps a more important thing to look at, and that's with temperatures 33 to 37. That could still be very damaging because that 32-degree temperature is measured at 5 feet, where down at the ground level it can still be freezing. So it used to be May 20th. That's through 1950 through 1960, and more recent history, May 2nd. So you still are best to wait until we get into May in Spokane, and even later in some of the outlying areas, Deer Park, Newport, Old Town. If you know you are prone to a late frost, would even wait a little bit longer. But if you do have some tender plants in the ground, after tonight, you can probably breathe easy because our overnight lows will be in the 40s. We have some very warm days ahead, including 70 on Thursday and 71 on Friday. Derek?
All right, Chris, thanks so much. Well, there is new concern tonight about how President Trump's tariffs could slow down the economy, not just here in the U.S., but around the world. That's according to a new forecast from the International Monetary Fund. CNN's Karen Caifa explains.
The International Monetary Fund said that the uncertainty around President Donald Trump's tariffs and the levies U.S. trade partners use to hit back will likely deal a blow to the global economy and especially slash U.S. economic growth. The forecast in line with what economists and Wall Street have warned.
This is, I think, being perceived by economists and investors around the world as the biggest own goal in soccer terms, the biggest self-inflicted sort of blunder in economic policy making in many, many, many years.
Wall Street has been eager for signs of progress on any trade deals, but especially with China. The White House said Tuesday things are moving.
There have now been 18 proposals in more than 100 countries around the world who are wanting to make a deal with the United States of America. And the president and the administration are setting the stage for a deal with China.
Adding to market anxiety, President Trump's recently ramped up pressure on Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell and the independent central bank to cut interest rates.
The Fed is supposed to be insulated from short-term political considerations so that it is free to do what's best for the economy in the medium and long term. That includes keeping inflation stable and low. It also means keeping unemployment low as well.
Meanwhile, gold briefly hit a fresh record high on Tuesday. Investors typically flock to gold as a safe haven in uncertain economic times as the U.S. dollar grows weaker. In Washington, I'm Karen Caifa.
Well, a new Pew Research poll shows many teens don't find social media as cool as they used to. It found that 48% of teenagers say online platforms have a mostly negative effect on their peers. Only 11% say social media is mostly positive for young men and women. And about half of the teens said they're now spending less time on the platforms and their smartphones in general. These all seem like good things to me. Before we go to break, here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup for tonight.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Next, E.T. It felt good. We're with Denzel Washington, breaking Broadway records and ready to face off against George Clooney. I've lost my mind. Plus, Penn Badgley on The End of You. Next, E.T.
Watch Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
I did something terrible. What are you doing in my house?
You killed my brother, you...
Trapped tonight on ABC.
NIU has been serving our community for over 50 years. It's a broad mix of cancer care. We see all kinds of urologic cancers and take care of those patients here.
The partnership we have allows us to deliver all the different options all in one place. With a new diagnosis of prostate cancer, you'll have all the options available, everything from the latest surgical options to the latest radiation options, and so we're happy to help with that.
Most patients are referred by their primary care doctors. Patients can certainly always pick up the phone and give us a call as well.
WSECU Cashback Checking. You give and give and give. Let's give you something back. Just use your debit card to earn. WSECU Cashback Checking. Let's credit union.
A show that pays tribute to one of the best Mexican-American performers of our time, Selena. Carla Perez, live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, May 8th. You'll love Yachtly Crew, a 7-piece SoCal band who has started a nationwide yacht rock craze. Live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, July 3rd. George Thorogood and the Destroyers bring their roof-shaking rock party to the Coeur d'Alene Casino live Thursday, July 31st. Visit the Coeur d'Alene Casino box office or cdacasino.com for tickets.
Winning is just the beginning.
Do you like this one? I think this is my favorite. Okay, hon, what do you think of this one?
When it's time for an update or complete remodel, Rebath is with you every step of the way.
Wow, is this going to be ready in time for the baby?
Absolutely. From design and products to removal and installation, we handle the entire process to create a beautiful and functional bathroom for whatever your life needs. Rebath, with you every step of the way. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $750 off your tub or shower remodel.
4 News Now is brought to you by Summit Cancer Center.
All right, coming up tonight on Nightside, voting for the Spokane County special election ends in just an hour. Tonight on Nightside, we'll cover both issues on the ballot and explain what it means if they're approved.
Enjoy beautiful weather for the next 3 days. And this weekend right now isn't looking too bad. A little bit cooler, perhaps a spotty shower. Check back, though. We are working hard on that weekend forecast.
All right, yeah, but definitely like the look of at least the next few days. We'll take it for sure. And want to wish the Spokane Chiefs good luck in their Game 6 against the Victoria Royals. That's why Jack Wallace isn't standing right here, because he had to head across the street to get ready for the puck drop, which is coming up in just a couple of minutes. We'll have highlights for you tonight on Nightside. We hope you'll join us then.